Well, hello. Welcome to Flying with Mike. Welcome in here at McGuire Air Force Base in New Jersey. And we will be we're going to be doing sort of a relief mission from McGuire down to MacDill. I know those of you are not familiar with where these are located. So McGuire is in New Jersey, kind of put it between Philadelphia and New York City. So, or better yet, Philadelphia and Newark. Kind of in between, closer to Philadelphia, but that's where you'll find McGuire. We're headed to Tampa. That is where MacDill is. It's you got Tampa International, then a small airport, and then MacDill Air Force Base. Used to be home to NOAA's hurricane hunters. They have since moved on to Lakeland. So the Air Force are still based at Keesler in Mississippi. So a little bit of the lay of the land. And those of you that have never been to Tampa International, then you've most likely been to Clearwater, St. Pete. That's across the bay. So just a little geographical reference. We are going to be in the newest aircraft that I believe to the Air Force fleet, the KC46, known as Pegasus. This is basically just a repaint, excuse me, of the Flight Factor 767 that you can buy at X-Plane. If anyone is interested, hang on. It is right here. What I did is I got the extended version, professional extended. That gives you the 767-300ER, 767-200ER, the 767-200SF, which is what this is based out of, and then the 767-300 freighter. Now, the only thing missing, now I don't know if you go one level up, what all you get with that. You can look into it. It's up to you. But that's how you'll get this. There is a paint for the 767-300, little bit bigger body and all. That's not normal to the aircraft, but hey, to each their own. However, this one does not have the boom nor any of the pods that are located on it. So, like I said, basically a repaint of the 767-200 Sierra Fox. All right, all of that put aside, we are getting ready to load out of here. So I hope you all are ready. Hang on a second. I think I was midway. Okay, I did start. All right. So, basically, in order to load this aircraft, hang on, I'm getting chat room set up here. There we go. There we go. All right, that way I can more easily, hopefully, catch your chats. In order to load this plane, at a minimum, you need the staircase and the door open, the ACU and the cargo door open. Hang on, a little bit of an echo catching me off guard here. And then over on this side, you need the cargo doors open as well here and the LSUs. Now, if you're going to fuel it, you got to have the fuel truck. So that is the basics to how you load this plane. Then it gets a little more complicated, okay, in how to load it. And some of you already know this. Flight Factor works on standard values, meaning people are a certain weight, which all of them do that. However, they include bags. Very important when you're setting up SimBrief. Or use the SimBrief profiles that are set up and set them for you. But the cargo is the confusing one. So we'll get to that here in just a minute. Just want y'all to look. This is a fantastic paint job. I think it came with 12 different ones. This is the only one they say McGuire, and I don't know where it says it on it. Usually it's up on the tail. I'm not sure where he's got it on here. But anyway, the rest of them have a name usually right here in under the pilot's window. Keep forgetting my mouse. All right, so let's get up in the cockpit and let's start briefing this out real quick. Sim Toolkit is the animal we use. There you have it. A beautiful day out here on the East Coast. And we're going to find out just how well that extends. Philadelphia Tower, Philadelphia as we like to call it, is up. All right, loadout again, 32,340 pounds. We're going to put in 29. We're just going to leave it where it's at. I'll explain here in a second. I didn't realize we were that close. Okay, once again, SimBrief does a great job. Don't mistake my words for that. They do a great job for passenger. Cargo gets a little gray. And we can work around it. 154 people at their setting. I think it's 200. Again, I'd have to look it up. I don't usually worry about passenger loads. Usually generates us to the right numbers. No cargo. Everything on this one is cargo. So it's a little laughable. I get it. Enjoy your laughs. Here's the route. Pretty much nothing but directs to VOR to VOR to VOR to VOR to Dades and then in on the Dades one. So pretty easy. Cost index will be 40,000 is where we're aiming for. Aiming high, of course. And moving on down to the weather. Here at McGuire, west wind at 5-10-mile visibility and a clear sky. Yeah, kind of can see it over the tops, over the sides here. Yeah, pretty clear. Although they're a little lying because there's a cloud right there. No. MacDill got a scattered layer at 4,000. Nothing to fear. That doesn't set any setting. It could be 100 feet, folks. It's just a problem on landing. We may lose sight initially of the runway, but overall, not bad. East wind at 9-10 miles visibility. So beautiful, beautiful day down in the MacDill, Tampa area. I'm going to see if I can translate some of this gobbledygook that we call remarks down here. Bear with me a second. By the way, your NavGraph charts, if you have that program, if not, shame on you. No, seriously, it's really a good program, folks. If you already update your FMCs, a little extra money goes a long way with that program. Charts for the world, VATSIM is on a tirade of updated charts, even though you're flying a 1960 aircraft. Updated charts. So one great way to have and make sure you have up-to-date stuff right here with NavGraph. Okay, I'm just going to read off if we have any remarks. Guess what? It isn't translating today. What? Oh, freezing rain? What? FCRANO. That usually is freeze rain. Huh. Okay. The guy in Tampa must actually be in northern Canada right now. No, I'm not certain what that FCRANO stands for. RVR? No. That one's, I'm not sure, and I'm not looking it up. That's bizarre. Any of you out there that know that, I'd sure love to know it though. Yeah, some of this, yeah, makes no sense. Especially if they're calling freezing rain in Tampa in October. Now, maybe, just maybe, in January, February, maybe they might see a touch of freezing rain. And that is a huge maybe. Um, but not, no. Not at 80 degrees, we'll put it that way. So, but anyway, that's what we've got here, folks. Let me go ahead, put us online. We are flying for Simulated Air Force, as you saw on the first poster. They're a great bunch, folks, and I'll give you a little more here. Let me get filed in here. Make sure I've got all my ducks in a row and get that goose out of the way. Don't need that. Okay, and oh, we don't have all our ducks in a row. That goose did get in the way. All right, there we go. All right, so, oh, we're good, good. All right. For a second, I thought I set us up for a wrong time. Anyway, why Sim Air Force? Well, one, they're a great virtual special op group. What does that add up to? Well, that $5 will get you a cup of coffee, but at Starbucks. Oh wait, that's what it goes for anyway. But no, seriously, on a serious note, if you want to do air-to-air combat practice, air to ground bombing, anything you would think the militaries would do, escorting, air refueling, for the C-130 cargo guys, C-17s and all, lape dropping, cargo dropping, any of that, or just operating in the military restricted and operating areas that are out there, you have to be a member of a special operations group. You cannot just go up and arbitrarily lock on and shoot at airplanes. You can't arbitrarily go up and escort. You have to, one, go through the procedures you learn with these virtual operation groups and with permissions. Um, Especially when ATC is alive. If you want to say go into the Nevada test range, which is where Red Flag is flown, you got to have permission for that, folks, from ATC, unless they're not up, of course. But there are provisions you have to follow, and that's why you join these virtual units. Not to say you can't go off to DCS and do the same thing. That's a whole different world. That's a whole different. They're not even on VATSIM, so that I know of. So that's why you'd want to join. Now, if you just want to fly, you know, okay. If you're not going to do any of those or want to do any of those, you may not want to join. I get it. But if you do, here's a link. It's also in the title. But check them out. Like I said, it's how you're able to do more military flying. Say, for instance, I had a fighter that gets low on fuel on the way. Now, on this mission, I will not be able to help them out. If, say, I had a normal training load of fuel, yeah, I could divert and help them and refuel. However, I don't have the boom. I actually don't know how these programs work anymore with the advent of X-Plane 11 and Microsoft 2020. Back in FSX, we just had to get in range of the aircraft, about a mile. That's all you would see, because you would end up being a mile or so behind them, and we could refuel you. So and the programs were beginning to come online to transfer from your plane to their plane. So I could only imagine it's gotten better. The aircraft, like I said here, does not have the boom on it, so it makes it a little harder, nor the TACAN inside to help the aircraft track us. So, but again, Sim Air Force, give them a check. It's crew.simairforce.com. Great software. They're on smart cars too. And hey, give us a try. Sorry I had to do that plug for them. Just, they're a great bunch, folks. We're kind of small. We're not like the other Air Force here in this country, but great bunch of guys to be around. All right, so let's go, shall we? All right, I'm going to go ahead and connect. So we're on VATSIM. We are under the call sign Reach 18, and we are a Boeing 767-200, or on the list, the KC46 Pegasus. Connect. All right, they're giving us a squawk code here on Auto ATC 7736. Let's drop that in real quick. Oop. Now, one little tip I'm going to give so you don't set bells and whistles off. When you get a 77 or a 76 or even a 70 squawk, start with the last two numbers so you don't inadvertently trigger anything with them to scare the you-know-what out of them. Now, it won't do that. And then just make sure you turn either Alt off or Alt on. You don't have to go to TA or TARA just yet. While I'm here, I'm going to go ahead, turn on my radio. And we're set. And make sure they're turned up. All right, and then 122.5, there we go. We'll get McGuire's, if it's put in the system. There are a lot of these air bases, they're not in. So we'll see. All right, let's get going. We need to load the aircraft. So come down. You can either go here or down at the pilot's knee. It should be gone right now in that little cubby. Yeah, it would be resting right here. Okay, now I told you it's a little interesting to load the freighter versions, okay? Each pallet, okay, so when you put two pallets in here, okay, you just put one, it's 9,800 pounds. You put two in, times two, 9,800 times two, times three, times four. Every pallet weighs 9,800 pounds. So how I load this plane, this is how Captain Flying with Mike does it. I take the zero fuel weight that we plan to load. All right. Hang on. We plan to load 208,000, our zero fuel weight to be at 208,990 pounds. That number right there, right now. However, to get to that, I zero the pallet number and the cargo weight. Don't think putting 7780 in here is now what each pallet weighs. It will always be 9,800 pounds. Okay, so I subtract the basically empty zero fuel weight. Don't worry about the fuel, folks. That's why it says zero fuel. Doesn't matter what the fuel is. Gross weight does, not fuel, the zero fuel weight. Okay, minus, take that number and subtract it from what you're wanting the zero fuel weight to be once loaded. Okay, then divide it by 9,800. In this case, it came up 2.7 or 8 or something like that. Fine, 2 pallets. Now, I'm sorry, we got to do one more time. I can already hear, I hate math, I really do. Going to take our zero fuel weight we want to get to minus what the zero fuel weight is now. And that came up to 7,780 pounds. That's why our zero fuel weight matches our estimation of what it will be. May sound confusing, but I hope it's not. All right, I'm going to click maintenance. Maintenance has been performed, and I'm going to optimize where things are positioned so our CG is better. Finally, our fuel load is here. We want 29,882. Do you see why I said I'm not going to change it? It's close enough. So if a fighter does come, I can give them 112 pounds or 120, no wait, 110 pounds of fuel. Whoa, that'll get them to the nose of the aircraft once we break free. And then click load, folks. It didn't take. There it goes. Now, you're going to see this until it's fully loaded. Okay. Once it's fully loaded, you'll even hear some banging around in the background. But that's one way. When that message disappears, or up here equals 30.0. And that is one thing I love about 757, 767. The fuel tells you what's in each with the respective pumps and a total right there. So when that reaches 30, we're done. So let's press on, shall we? All right, nav lights are on, position lights are on. EECs are normal. Electric pumps coming on, demands coming on. Whoops. To auto. While I'm here, let's move this into heading. We'll show you why in a second. Emergency lights on. To power this aircraft up, its battery, then your standby power. If you got the GPU, click on it. If not, go up here or down at your knee, ground, and it is right there. Make sure it's showing. Auto, just click on them, click on them, click on the outside. Do not lift these guards and click, folks, because you just disconnected the gen. And that's all you got to do to power it up. Emergency lights, we'll get the heaters going on the windshield, get the air starting to circulate in the plane. And again, open a guard, close the guard. Makes 2 clicks to do whatever you're trying to do. Tampa for the altitude is 14 feet. So we'll dial this down. And, you know, I can hear y'all going, why does it have to be so high? I would counter, why does it have to be so low? I like flying at some of the higher altitude aircraft, so having it in the middle, even for Vegas, folks, it's right about at Vegas's altitude. If you want to fly Denver, it's just a little higher. If you want to fly Dallas, a little lower. So you see, you can't win in that game. Okay, so moving on, we've got our basic electrics and setup started. Oh, hang on, let me turn that down to auto. And we are just about loaded, folks. and we'll kick the EPU on then. But I'm going to go ahead, align, align, align. Got your on DC, on BAT, depending on aircraft. When it goes to align, you're going to see why. It's going to be how many minutes till you align. We just hit 30. Hear how quiet in the background it is? We're loaded. 7 minutes. Go to nav, nav, nav. All right, leave it like that. Now let's come down. First off, I'm going to go ahead, snap on the APU. Fuel pump. You saw the one that went off, and I think it's already up. This one goes quick. Yeah, it's already up. I thought so. I saw this light up, where is it? Almost immediately. Okay, and then we'll go ahead, turn the APU on. Now we're on. We can actually go off ground power. And the APU is now powering. So we can come back, go to ground. So the GPU is no longer needed, nor the ACU. However, and the fuel truck. See, the only message now is that maintenance was done. So ultimately, we can pretty well even get rid of the loader, the LSUs. Close everything but the front door. All right, let's get going. We've got a let me set this. Okay, pull that out. I set things up a little bit to help me if needed down the road. All right, on one more thing. And that just gets things so when I'm ready for it, they are where I need them. Okay, all right, let's get this FMC going. Tomorrow, folks, is the day of the update, or the first. One of the two, you should be getting an email. Let me preface that nav graph. I just thought about that sipping my coffee. Position init, airport KWRI, doink. Now, I just go with this. Don't even try to change it, folks. Just go with it. Or copy what you get up top, because it's a long string. I just use it. I know one streamer that told me he got wrong information once. I have never. Now, I've had wrong information in translating from a company route into here. That's why I check it all the time. Okay, so put that here. KMCF here. And then I go ahead, put in our CH18. And we're set to go. Go to the next page. Oh, well, actually, I've already got it. So KWRI KMCF01 company route, activate, and load. All right, execute. Now, I don't leave it at that, folks. We'll come back, put the stars in. I want to look at it. I actually had one. We got going great. It was over in Europe, and you already know from yesterday, put your arm out. That's half a flight plan, and that's only to go 100 miles. I mean, it's unreal how long these flight plans are. What happened is sometimes in translating over to this in company routes, if you're airway to airway, if you go like airway to this airway to this airway, so you use this fix, airway, this fix, airway, this fix, you could actually end up with a different setup. And that's what happened to me. So pay attention here. This is where you don't want to be trying to figure out, where am I? Where am I going? What heading do I need to get back on course? That's a lot of what you see why I do it. All right, so GVE, CAE, CRG, and DADES. Okay, so that all looks good. Cool. Let's go back to route. Now let's go to departure arrival. Now we're going to bring in charts. He says cautiously. Poof. All right, now I'm going to follow to make sure we're right, but you're going to see it up here on the screen. Let me zero in. All right, over here is, first off, when you have NavGraph charts like I do, you get METARs worldwide if they're not too badly out of date. What I mean by we've had several. You're going to be, when they update, it updates. If they haven't updated in 6 to 12 hours, it's going to tell you how long, how old that METAR is. Case in point, Wrightstown, McGuire Air Force Base, Joint Base McGuire, I think it's like Joint Base, Lakehurst, Dix, McGuire, I forget how it all goes. The military loves things spelled out across an entire wall. So here's the METAR, it's 47 minutes old. We've had them 6 to 8 hours old, folks. Now, technically, you're not supposed to fly with that, but it's the flight sim. We can fly. So, but anyway, see the winds, 240, 10. That's one great feature. So 240, 24 sounds like a good runway. What do you think? Well, let's pull up the airport chart. 24 is right here. Looks like an excellent runway. So would 18 or 36, depending on crosswind components. So, but we'll take down the runway. So we're going to basically plan to come out November, down Lima, over Gulf to Delta for takeoff. Pretty simple, straightforward departure. Okay. Now, it's saying Thomas to departure to LEEAH. Okay, there's first off, let's select our runway, then our star, and we do not have any transitions. So let's look at it real quick. Click the charts, go to SIDS, click it. I just clicked it in. Doggone it. Hang on. Hang on. Click here. We wanted to click there. All right. So we're going to come off runway 24 and head for Thomas. Down to Atlantic City. Do a little gambling real quick and then on our way to LEEAH. Here's our ATC climb rates to 8,000 feet off 24. We're going to be grabbing some sky, it looks like. About 1,200 to 1,600 feet a minute minimum. Left turn, direct Thomas, maintain 8,000, track as depicted. 10 minutes after departure, expect your filed clearance height. Okay, so that's all great. Activate, activate, execute. Come back to legs. And step in. All right, so here we go. Thomas, ACY, LEEAH. Not sure the double paint. Hang on. Really not sure of that. All right, what's going on here? Let's see. Maybe it'll make sense here as we step through. See, these are things you don't want to be trying to figure out en route. No idea. I think I just cleared it. Yeah, I somehow did. Don't know how. All right, so there we go, down to LEEAH. Not sure. We had a double paint here. Okay, then we're up to GVE, CAE, CRG, which is Jacksonville, down to Dades, which for all intrinsic purposes is Tampa. Okay, again, we saw that. Here we go. So you can catch up to us. Okay, there's Jacksonville, headed over to Dades. All right, now let's go back to flight. Now this is where it gets kind of interesting. All right, so we got a, wow. Let's take a look at this METAR. 090 at 14. I think it's wanting us on runway 5. We'll take a look at this. I don't even want to know what that stands for. So here's runway 5. Oh, they no longer have the other runway. Okay, so runway 5, I guess we'll take. Taxi in and we'll park here. Not sure. Oh, there's my execute. Okay. Okay, hang on. There we go. Departure. Why are we still here? Let's go to index. To our next airport, Dades 1. Uh-oh. All right, let's take a look at Dades. I don't think we have a transition for Dades. So we're not going to transition. We're going to clear. Now, here's where I have fun. Approach available. Everything seems to focus out here. RNAV, nope, I don't like it. Can't really do a TACAN, so what we'll do is the ILS. And we either get Milne. Yeah, we'll just do it. I'm pretty sure that's going to put us on a hold. The cool thing is it does, yeah, it's going to put us on a hold. Dades, and as you can see from Dades, it's just G-spar and then out. Which actually, in this case, we could overfly the runway, procedure turn back in. So ILS, execute. One more time through it. Okay, and then we come back in for the landing. Out to a goose, and there you have it. There's our flight. Now, this long line is just because it's a vector. We'll be handling it from there, or Jacksonville, or Miami, whoever the heck controls. Between Orlando and Tampa, I never know. It's just so confusing. Okay, let me come down here, put this back to map. All right. See, there's that off again. Why? I don't know, folks, but we're going to just do that. Now, from here, we're going to go to the perf int page. Click. It's old school here, folks. Get our numbers real quick. Final reserve, 45 minutes is 5,400 pounds, 4,000 pounds for the alternate 9.0. 40000 80 winds for today was in the flight plan 326 at 35. Hey, we're getting a bit of a tailwind down there. I still put 2,000 in here for step. It isn't going to go to 42,000, folks. Just is not. Click your line select by the CG, gives you this. Go to page 2. Winds on the runway are 240 at 5. Slope, if any, I don't think there was one. Oh, up 0.3. Okay, and reference temperature today is, well, you know what? Let's just do it this way. Come over here to sim brief, takeoff, and calculate. Outside air temperature 21. All right, go back to our next page. Thrust 54. Oh, we can't do it 2. We cannot. I don't know how to set that. 54. Flaps 5. And let's turn them on. Okay, we're calling for 129, 130, 133. We're going to go with that. 129, 130, and 1 tree. Aircraft's ready to go, folks. Hope you are. All right, looking things over, I believe we're still good to go here. Just getting things positioned better. Sim Toolkit has, Sim Air Force has us on the map. All right, we are ready to go. And sorry for leaving charts up there like that for you. What was our 3034? Okay, now there are some little quirks that are nice for us, believe it or not. The altimeter, 3034. Now, instead of having a setting we could tick off, you know, saying, sure, why not, to whatever we set here sets on the first officer side. No, they did one a little bit better. Little bit. You be the judge. I actually kind of like it. So, hang on. So we set our altimeter. Now, right now you can't read it because things are there, but you actually have a, oh yeah, you do. Right on the bottom, see it? Altitude disagree. ALT disagree. That's because this one is, in fact, different than that one. So what are we to do? Again, most of these aircraft, you would have it a setting where you could go in and say, huh, what's on the captain's side is what's on the first officer side. Or you could put a set screw here, click on it, disagree just went away. Why? It just set it over here. A little more realistic when you really boil it down. But you still got to set this one. Okay. All right, we got to set our decision altitude to 400 before we make any turns. Everything else remains off. We're ready to go. APU's fired. Let's go ahead, close up that door. So we just come here, go to Ops, Airplane, close the door first. Now, while that's closing and being secured, somebody would walk down the steps, and guess what they would do? Pull them away. So all we're left with now are chocks. Now we're not. We are fully ready to go, folks. So what I'm going to double check, okay, 122.8 TXRX and 121.5 are all good. I'm going to find out what our CTAF is, if there is one. 118.650. When in VATUSA territory, you have to set to the common traffic. Yesterday was a great example. Our flight out of LA, young kid, don't want to go really say young kid, but somebody, why can't I hear all these people moving around and all? Don't they usually transmit on Unicom? Now, tower, first off, to the kid's defense, the tower had just come up 5-10 minutes earlier, so he didn't check his client that connects SIM to the VATSIM network. However, a pilot came on gracious and said, no, you need to be on such and such frequency. Tower came up and he told him approximately how long ago. Otherwise, when you're over here in the US, you're supposed to be on the common traffic frequency like those guys were. And that happens to be the same frequency. And all went well. So folks, if you're from Europe listening in, other places, when you're in the US, I'm not going to say Canada, I think Alaska, I think Hawaii, and I think San Juan. Check for the common traffic frequency. If not, just simply type .ctaf space and whatever the identifier is, for character identifier. That'll give you the CTAF as you saw here. Go down, make sure you make that active, which I have not. Shameful. And now we're going to go active, and we're ready to go. Beacons, finalizing everything. Hang on. Yaw dampers we're not going to worry with just yet. Hydraulic. Okay, everything looks good down to here. Let's get our fuel pumps on. I'm really bad if I don't do it by the checklist. I'll forget. Engines may not start, folks. Some aircraft are that particular. I couldn't tell you if this is one of them. APU is on. All doors are closed. Stand by. I'm going to do a quick look around the plane like I did yesterday to make sure. Okay, all the chocks are gone. And all doors closed. If in doubt, all you got to do, pull out that AFB airplane, close all, and that'll close them all. All right, lastly, the one thing I did not set up yet is right here. We need is it 133? I hate it when I keep clicking. It sure is. So 143. Runway heading to 238. We'll go up to 8,000, but hopefully get under it quick enough that we don't have to worry. Flight director's on. And I think we are ready. Engines. Yeah, engines. Engines, he said. All right. Up here, beacon. And we're ready to set this to position. Here lies so. And all right, to start it, folks, packs off. It's not like the Airbus 11 or any other Airbus where it's automatic. You have to physically do it. Come up here, make sure you're on the side for the startup. We're even today, so we'll be on 2. Ready to start them. All right, here's your fuel switches. You're just waiting for it to get to the magenta. And they start quick, folks. The 200 does. The 300 seems to be more in line with the aircraft in starting. Just waiting for them to stabilize. All right. All right, there we go. Okay, and we are on the engine generators now. Ah, that's at N1. Okay. Like, why are there 2 N2s and why are they diametrically different? Okay, it just, I need new glasses. I get it. All right, you see what we still have ahead of us. Look at all those yellow lines. That's what we got to clear up now. All right, so the engines are running. So let's head up top here. Whoop, that won't do it. That will. Turn our engine pumps on. Next up, anti-ice. Don't need it. Left and right engine bleeds on. Packs back on. APU bleed off. APU off, gen off. And we are looking good. Now, we will leave this off. I can kind of demonstrate why I do on the ground. It's an old flight sim issue that this aircraft has. Okay. Now, you can see I can move the rudder with no problem, right? If you don't, it's on the lower. It's on right here where it says RUD, and you can see it moving. Okay, now let's go up, engage the yaw damper. Whoa, it just spiked. That's an old flight sim issue. It could very well be within my joystick, but it's an issue I've dealt with for a long time. So while taxi, I turn them off. And then again, it'll work. Okay, let's get the rest of it checked. Okay. All right, that's good to go. But anyway, that's why I don't turn them on right away. And I'll be honest, total transparency here, folks. I do forget them in flight. All right, next up, real quick, let's get our auto brakes set to reject, flaps to 5. Okay, taxi lights, altimeters are set. Left and right VORs should be auto and auto. Why is this one manual? We'll give it time during the taxi. State trim should go to 4.1. Okay, and flight controls are free. Radar to weather. And we're ready for taxi, folks. McGuire traffic, reach 18 heavy, taxi to 24 for departure. All right, here we go. So I hope your week's going well on this hump day, folks. We're at the middle point of it. It hopefully has gone well. If not, well, hopefully tomorrow cheers you up. All Hallows Eve hits, Halloween. I know some of you love this holiday. I'm not a huge fan of it, but hey, to each their own. Hope you enjoy it. Taxiing out. I'm glad to have y'all aboard. Thanks for being with Flying with Mike. If you haven't done so already, YouTubers, smash that subscribe. Love to have you on future videos that we do. Those of you here on Twitch, I'd love for you to smash that follow button and follow us. We try to fly every day, at least one flight, if not two. Sometimes we get 3 in. This could be one of those days, but right now we're slotted for 2. We'll see though. But I hope you all enjoy. We do have a Discord channel. If you subscribe, folks, just know the money that comes in through subscriptions, donos, and biddies goes directly to the stream. We're actually looking at an aircraft purchase and some more sounds. Just trying to figure out if I installed it wrong on the A350 or what. But we're looking at that. We may start introducing sceneries into X-Plane, both free and payware. That's the kind of, oh, excuse me, what the money goes to, not to me. So welcome aboard. Thank you so much for all the support we've got out there. We have some goals here in Twitch. Feel free to check them out below and about, and check our flight schedule. See if you want to come aboard. YouTubers, if you come over to Twitch here, look in that about for the flight schedule, or just click schedule and it'll tell you when we fly next. All right, we're coming up to the end of the runway. Final checks, no ATC. Yep, no ATC. All right, we like it. And McGuire traffic, reach 18 heavy, departing 24. Roger, clear for takeoff. Like I said, it does not have the boom nor the pods on the wings to physically look like we're refueling, but I don't know protocols anymore. It's been a while since I've actually physically refueled an aircraft. I just know in FSX I was able to do it, and the fuel would descend out of it. Okay, auto throttle on. We have one more set key. Auto. Sorry about that. And cleared for takeoff. Do I need to go back into the threshold? You know, for safety, I better. Okay, back taxiing. You know, it's always better to be safe than sorry if there's runway to use, folks. So, even a little Cessna, you'd be shocked how many end up off the end of a runway because they pulled their gear up too quick. It happens, folks. It really does. Just like this. Who knows? Maybe I need it for a reject. So if I didn't start from way back here, my numbers are technically wrong then. All right, folks, when we come around, we are out of here. Okay, lights are on. Flaps are at 5. We're ready to go. Timer on. And that toga button's right here. $80 knots, speeds verified. Positive rate. All right, flaps are up. Auto brake is off, flaps are up, spoilers are down, and what the heck is it doing? I know what it's doing. All right, we'll hold this till Thomas, and then we'll climb up. I forgot to turn the autopilot on. Stupid, stupid move. Took me a few seconds to figure out why is this plane doing what it's doing. All right, and looks like terrain radar needs to be dialed up a little. I'll be right back. The first officer has stepped up and is taking over. Be right back. All right, we're back. Sorry for that lengthy, delayed climb out. But, folks, there she is, the KC46. And like I said, see, the boom is not here, nor any of the wing pods. And again, I also don't know if you go up the next level from what I have, and that's if you click exclamation mark 767. If you go up above the extended version, what all you get. I couldn't determine that, so I don't know. We're on our way to Tampa with some relief stuff. After getting battered by a couple of hurricanes, I think they could use it. Let's go ahead, kill the lights, kill the wabbit, kill the wabbit. Okay. I think we're above 8. Oh, we just hit 18,000. Unfortunately, though, folks, you have to dial it down. So again, let's watch. As we dial it down, altitude is going to disagree. Okay, so now, if you watch over here, this is still 3034. You click it, and there it comes down. Now, we're showing insufficient fuel, and why is that? Huh, we're showing 8.7. I wonder why. Now let's see what happens when we get into cruise. I may have to call a tanker. All right, so folks, again, we're flying for Sim Air Force here, and we are aiming high, 40,000 feet. Of course, air refueling would be much lower. Actually, if we were running, you know, I need to do that one day. Get with someone, do some practice air refuels, and see, can we do it, or does the systems now require this? Anyway, we're on our way. Enjoy. We are... Oh, that guy again. By the way, how would you rate the first officer flying? She's 7 months old today. I think she did a pretty doggone good job. I think we need to give her a round of applause. So onward and upward through 25,000 feet. Let's take a look at the KC46 climbing out of McGuire, headed for Tampa. But again, thanks for being a part of Flying with Mike as we fly over Maryland and headed to Tampa. We're on a relief flight with Sim Air Force, and glad to have you all aboard. KC46. Basically, all it is, folks, is the 767-200 in Air Force gray, refuel on the top, but unfortunately, the refuel probe and all isn't there. I would love to see someone make this work. That would be awesome. So, but we're on our way, folks. Should be there in about an hour and a half or so. Hope you enjoy the flight. Welcome aboard. Reach 18 to MacDill Air Force Base down in hurricane-ravaged Tampa. All right, we're through 38,000, folks, almost there. Hope you're enjoying this relief mission to Tampa. Help those folks out with some more supplies coming in from the Northeast. And rushing it down. Oh man, that was great. Oh, glad to see you're back. Okay, just checking in on Discord, making sure everything's looking good. Really enjoying this run. Checking out my friends at Sim Air Force. right, we're at 40,000. Sorry, folks, I got enthralled in here. I think I might have stirred up a hornet's nest. There we go. All right. Okay, back to you all. Here we go. Sorry, just keeping some of the Discord servers that I'm up with up to date and cool. So we are on our way. This is a relief mission, unofficial with Sim Air Force. I don't know of any outright missions we have set up for the Tampa area, but I figured they're gonna need it. So we're heading into Tampa. And one thing Tampa does have going for it is the fact MacDill is right there in the bay. So you can really bring it in, let the international airport and Clearwater pretty much leave them alone with these kinds of flights and bring them into the base. They got plenty of ramp space to park things, store things, stage things, to then deploy where needed. So unlike up in North Carolina by Asheville and all, while yeah, you can use Columbia and Greensboro for Seymour, you are distance away from deploying it, so it's a little more difficult. So now there's a couple of air bases kind of hidden throughout there, but they're really not much of use here. But we are on our way. We've got about an hour and a half to go. Enjoy the flight. And as I like to say, folks, sit back, relax, enjoy. For those of you in Europe, I know you're now getting home from work, looking for some time to relax, so we're just going to keep it nice and easy here and hope for the best as we get closer. And you know what? It would help to get over to Unicom. There we go. Again, hope your Wednesday is going well. Hump day, as I like to call it, as a lot of people like to call it. We're getting over that hump, headed for the weekend. So hope tomorrow is a safe Halloween for those of you who celebrate it. Keep it safe. You know, a lot of little kitties here in the U.S. will be out scavenging for that candy, but be safe. Watch out for them. Want to see you all on Friday. SIMAF 4 or Reach 18 is. Reach 18's monitoring guard for that aircraft asking. Oh well, not sure what that's all about. I know there's a lot of speculation of what's coming, and it's not really looking good, but we'll see how it goes. Boy, I hope this weather update coming ends this garbage. Oh, I hate this in-flight simming. All right, and what that is, folks, is when aircraft start porpoising like that. It's never ending in some. They've just got it's too steep of what they're trying to clear, so you got to go in and do it yourself. But anyway, hopefully we're back on track. But anyway, hope you enjoy. Hour and 20 minutes to go to MacDill, and hope you enjoy. All right, looks like it tried again, and let's see, what are we looking at here? We got about 500 miles, 600 miles or so to go. Hopefully we'll do a better job here. It's just being a little bit of a outright pain, but you know, that's just the way it goes, monitoring, going through all these different weather zones. Everything's different, and if the weather isn't interpreting exactly the way it's supposed to, you get this worst case scenario. We've seen where the weather updates were giving us troubles. The best way around it, folks, turn the weather updates off. But I try my doggonest to keep it going. So we'll just keep going at this and hope for the best with the weather, and we get past some of this. Maybe I didn't think we had any weather. Yeah, nothing's popping up between here and there. The biggest shot of any kind of weather is out west of Kansas City. So there is a big blob. But again, hope y'all have a great Wednesday. We're just kind of sitting on the side monitoring things as we're starting to do it again. All right, hang on. And see, that's the problem. When it takes it all the way up to 4,000 feet a minute, it really has a hard time balancing itself out. So once it does, you can do that and lock it in for the next 5 minutes or so, and then it'll probably do it again. So it's plagued all flight sims, folks. Doesn't surprise me it's here in X-Plane. Now your FSUIPCs or X, however they do it. Anyway, that program should help work through this, but I have yet to see it do any good. Like it used to help a little. And again, it wasn't much. What it took was using an outside weather program, like Active Sky or something along those lines. There were a couple free ones out there too I used. They're a little better in smoothing things out in the atmosphere, but overall you just gotta literally ride the current. Eventually you'll get into more stable air and it will smooth through it better. Sometimes you won't. It's just all what the weather stations are like. So enjoy, folks, and we'll try to keep it in the air. I'll be right back, folks. Gonna head to the galley and get some coffee. All right, folks, a little longer than I thought. Hit the lav, hit the galley, and we're back. About an hour to go, folks. Hope you enjoy. All right, folks, got a little bit of stuff done in the background there. So the Discord channel is up to date with all the YouTube videos that are out. All right, hope you all are enjoying our little relief flight from McGuire to MacDill. And looking forward to our second flight down in Brazil. So hope you enjoy. Great Wednesday, and oh, we're about 45 or so minutes out. That's a first. I don't think I've ever seen Huntsville online. So I hope y'all have some great plans for this weekend. We are here in the St. Louis area looking pretty close to, well, we'll say, should be pretty close to peak, but the winds for the last couple of days have been howling here. While the color will be there, it just may not be in the tree. It's been whipping up here pretty good lately. But other than that, folks, we have a great day in store for you. Like I said, this flight ends at MacDill. Then we'll fire up another flight. And that'll be down in Brazil. And I hope you enjoy that. That'll should pique the curiosities of some out there. But more importantly, it is going to be, I always love flying down in Brazil. Be it Sao Paulo, Rio, and I normally don't go to the very big airports. I like those secondary airports, Gungagrus and Santos Dumont. I'm going to tell you right now, folks, if you like challenge approaches, both of those are right up there. Congonhas isn't as bad of a challenge other than the fact you're on shorter runways, think midway. But Santos Dumont, you're in for a treat. And I'm not going to give much away on that. Short runway, that's all I'm going to give you. But if you like that kind of flying, and I love it, there are the places to fly to, folks, plus others around the world. You just got to pay attention to other streamers sometimes, other pilots, see where and what they're doing, and watch and see some of these approaches. I mean, how many of us out there love flying the Rivers arrival into Reagan? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Santos Dumont, aside from the small runway, is like that approach into Reagan on steroids. So think it out, folks. You might find some fun out there with these others. Juneau actually can be a challenge. Throw some weather in, but it is a challenge, folks, for if you fly it like it's published. So there's a few out there, to name a few. We've gone to one in Colombia, a couple in that region with the Andes that are just nail-bite turns, but they're fun, and they give that challenge to. And if you come out of places like Bogota or Ecuador, I can't think of the name. Anyway, there's an airport in Ecuador, not far away, folks. These are short hops to them for a great challenge. And the airport in Ecuador has a pretty challenged approach too. So, I mean, you can find them, folks. You just got to get out there and look. And try not flying, well, some of these airports don't even have ILS approaches. They're all RNAVs. But of course, you know, the big one that everyone loves, Paro, that one's pretty good and challenging. Kaitak, checkerboard approach, yeah. IGS, yeah, that was fun. So, you know, you don't have to stick with the, oh, Roger, ILS 20 miles out, or if you're in LA, 700 miles out, 425 left. I mean, that ILS is just unreal how long it is. And on mine, you're on the approach halfway in before the localizer comes alive. It's that far out. I'm like, good Lord. Oh man, so check them out, folks. There are some fun ones out there. Enjoy them. Take the challenge, and oh, you may have to do a go around, but each time you learn. Let alone, let's look at what we've been doing with X-Plane 1.2, Caribbean, St. Bartholomew, and what is the other one? Those are some severely challenged approaches. So enjoy it, folks. That's what the flight sim's all about. You know, to do things you just can't do in the real world, or it shouldn't. Let's rephrase that. Also, I was out looking to see who's all up and around today because of these flights. Hoping for some great company, especially on the Brazil flight. We got some great stuff going on here. About 40 minutes out, and 20 minutes or so we'll start our descent. Enjoy the ride, folks. KC46, at least in color, even though we're missing the boom. Now, some interesting facts about this plane. Now, most of you know the KC-135, KC-10. All right. Those two aircraft, the boom operator was back in the tail. Now, I'd love to hear from some real Air Force pilots who have hooked up to both. Well, granted, they would have hooked up by now in their career if they had the ability to a KC-10 or a KC-135. What do they think of hooking up to a plane where the boom operator isn't in the back? More specifically, a boom operator that's not sitting in the tail where the boom is. That's right, folks. The KC46 took the boom operator, probably still same rank and all of that, you know, and now they're part of the flight deck crew. They sit behind the pilots, controlling the boom. I'm just kind of curious, both sides of the fence, boom operators and those that have to come in and hook up. How much more of a challenge is it? I would assume for those coming in, it's not much because you're still talking them into the script that's used. But I'm curious what it's like for the boom operators to not see directly the intended receptacles. Just curious. I mean, I am going to just I'm just kind of curious. I would love to see the cockpit layout, all of that great stuff. Friend of mine, lucky dog, got to fly from where I worked to the air show in St. Louis one day, the July 4th, on a KC-135, not one of ours. And he told me, don't ever do this. He sat in the boom seat. He said that was actually pretty cool until the plane rotated for takeoff and that tail's coming down. He said that scared the crap out of me. So, which I kind of understand. So, but you don't have that today. The boom operator isn't back there, and I don't know if there's I would assume maybe there's ways to make that work. If things, I don't know, it's a whole new technology, folks. My thinking is backup. You could put them in the tail and work from there, but I don't even know if that is a thing. So anyway, some fun things the Air Force has today, and more to come. I mean, the B-52 still in service from the 50s. KC-135's pretty much from the 50s and still in service. C-130s and C-5s, well, C-130s before, from the late 50s, early 60s, and the C-5 in the 60s. I mean, folks, we have aircraft from back then just unbelievable. You keep them up, you take care of them, that's what you get. And it's amazing to watch. We're now fourth or fifth there are a couple of instances where fourth and fifth generation buff pilots. That's amazing when you think, you hear about it with cops and firefighters and other jobs, but B-52 pilots, that's specific, folks. That is just awesome. I don't know if we're going to get much more out of them. There's some of these were actually still active Air Force from, that many generations. So it's not like one's retired. Okay. No, they're still in the Air Force. So it's just amazing. And another fun fact I like passing along, if anyone has seen the movie Strategic Air Command. Now, a lot of that movie filmed in a couple of places, but story-wise, now whether the scenes are from there, I don't know. Tampa, from MacDill. Also Fort Worth, and maybe somewhere else. But anyway, what a great, if you ever want to watch a great Air Force story, that's one amazing story, because there's two big story plots in it. Yes, what's going on with the characters? Jimmy Stewart, you know, I'm not going to give a lot of it away, and the B-36. There's your two main characters of the movie. However, side note, folks, sidebar, side note, it's also, if you've ever watched anything, documentaries on Jimmy Stewart, it's his life story played out on screen in a movie instead of what he actually did, which parallels very closely. So now, whether recalled or any of that, we don't know. I personally don't know, but it just parallels his life with that movie. You have to watch and then see what Jimmy Stewart's life was like. So, and to the makers of Strategic Air Command, Flying with Mike is who you can send that donation to for that great plug. No, seriously, really good movie, folks. The B-36 is hands down by far one of my most favorite airplanes, especially in the military side. Never dropped a bomb in anger, in war. Built for World War II, unfortunately came into fruition and World War II had ended. Korea started up, but it never dropped in Korea. An amazing aircraft, the B-36 was. If you ever want to see one, well, of course, they're scattered about the country at different bases. They've got a couple that didn't get scrapped. But the Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio, that's where I met the B-36, and that's where I just, every time I went, I spent most of my time just looking at this unbelievable aircraft. And Strategic Air Command helps answer some questions that you'll see with the plane. So, all right, enough down the memory lanes. We are 30 mics out. Let's see, we're 130 miles. Let's do some calculating. All right, according to our calculations, we're going to be setting brakes 1. We'll need about 7,400 feet of runway if we touch down properly. Now, I've heard this. I cannot confirm. Like the KC135Rs, I believe they are, with the big GE engines on them, so with the KC46, no reverse thrust. Mind-boggling, yes. But when you actually talk to pilots, not so. But, yeah, I didn't know that about them. And I knew that about the 135s. I did not know they had done that with the KC46. All right, the one thing I did not pull from here, what is the forecasted speeds? Let's see. V approach 128. All right, flaps 30, good. All right. All right, checklists. Seatbelt signs are already on. Let's get our init page. Yeah, we got about 40 more miles. We'll do that. So, but Craig, which is CRG, Jacksonville, coming up. Welcome to Florida. That's where the boom would be. There's lights and all to help them out. Believe it or not, a TACAN inside there as well to help guide the aircraft. In USIC, welcome, sir. Welcome in. Hope you're having a wonderful hump day as we get it ready for the weekend. Brazil is flight number 2 today. All right, let me look down here. Early preparations, eh? Oh, yeah. All right. Let's see. 100 miles out. Ah, that stinks. Working the weekend. Yeah, I get it. Gotta earn it somehow, some way. It sounds like our little first officer, who, by the way, kid, turned 7 months old today, just jumping away downstairs. Her first Halloween tomorrow. But again, if you guys get a chance, and gals, if you're into Jimmy Stewart and want to learn a little bit more about who Jimmy Stewart was, the actor, Strategic Air Command will give you some of his biography. In a different way. You got to know the history to understand what they showed. That was an amazing what they did with that movie. Kind of like that when you learn things like that about movies. You know, like The Wizard of Oz, the way it was portrayed, and everyone says, well, that wasn't intentional. Actually, it was. The black and white side of it being the Depression, color, brighter days ahead, each of the characters playing a part of that era of time. Then those that take on Star Trek and the political times it was. Pretty interesting to see how that fell apart. I took a couple of movie appreciation classes for the few that I did in college, and it was fascinating to learn these things. Now, whether Gene Roddenberry intended it, that one's not known, but they do know that was part of what was behind Wizard of Oz. And who knew? You never know when you release them. Are they going to be hits or flops? I kind of know that feeling. But glad to have you all in here. We're getting ready to come into Tampa. Got a relief flight here with Sim Air Force, unofficial, and bringing in some supplies from the Northeast. down to Tampa. We all haven't heard in the news, they got hit a couple of times by hurricanes. Even though the first one, Helene, brushed them. Literally, I don't even think much of the rain came in, but boy, the surge hit them, and it did some damage. And then, let alone the next one, that just dead on with them. Yeah, they were hit pretty hard, both hurricanes. And that's the secret behind Helene. A lot of people didn't know, I didn't, that Tampa took such a big hit, on top of what happened once it got inland with North Carolina and Tennessee. That was an amazing hurricane. So both of them were so. So we're bringing supplies in to Tampa, specifically MacDill Air Force Base. Nice centrally located airfield. Don't have to use Tampa International or St. Pete. You can bring it in here. Plenty of ramp space for staging, deploying into areas of Florida where it needs to be. So close enough to everything. Although I don't think they're gonna bring the ears back in for Mickey. No. Over at Disney World. All right, we should, yeah, we're close enough now. Let's hit that init button. Okay, we're going to come in flaps 30. It looks like our speed 123. As easy as ABC. Oh, sorry, folks. Couldn't resist myself. And then at the same time, let's set the ILS. Now, the ILS in this aircraft is a little tricky. Normally, like the 7.3, you have your VOR radios right up here. Here, or like Fearless, you have them here and there, and you can set courses on them. However, that's not what you use here in Flight Factor. You come down here, 1095. First off, verify it on your chart. Whoops. Right, McGuire will just not help. 1095. Okay, that is correct. And that's 50. Over here on the course, we need 44 degrees. And now your aircraft's ILS system is readied. Okay. Like I said, it's a little different than what many of these aircraft are like, but every one of them, you know, has a different style, different way. Airbus and the MD-11s, you don't. It does it for you. Couldn't speak of the other MD products out there, or Douglas DCs. But Boeing, some internally, some externally. Internally meaning the FMC has it. Externally, you set it. So we're all set up. 1, 2, 3. And one more time, let me look over here. 128, perfect. All right, so we'll come in at about 1:30 through the bay onto the runway of runway 5. So hope y'all are ready. I know I am. I'm also ready to do flight number 2 down in Brazil. Azul will be the airline. I know some of you out there know of an Azul who streams, so hopefully he gets a chance to either see it live or on Memrex at YouTube. Hey, Papuzik, welcome in. Glad you're aboard. Hope you enjoy the ride into Tampa Bay, literally, with MacDill Air Force Base. Closing in on top of descent. Dates 1 arrival requires no requirements. How about that? Let's plan on you know what, let's plan 10,000 feet. Yeah, there's no requirements. And for the dates 1 arrival, folks, we're not flying any of the transitions, Nick, or any of that. Even if you did, there are none. So it's just by ATC. While we got a few minutes, how to make this aircraft descend? You got a couple of ways. One, we can wait for top of descent to reach our airplane in the triangle there, and then it'll automatically descend. May or may not be right where you want it at 10,000, 5,000, whatever you set. Another way is right here. Now, you could have an FMS with Boeing that says VNAV. If you do, click it. Next page to descent. Once you get to descent, let me just pull it up so it's a little easier. You have a couple things you can set. Anywhere but the US and North America, for the most part, you're going to have to set your transition level. Here in the US, it's great. We stay at 18 unless we, like I said, leave. You also got your pause here. Not a whole lot you can do here. But when you're ready to descend, you can click here as well. And I just saw chat come in. Saucy and Bossy too, welcome aboard. Thank you so much for stopping in and saying howdy. All right, we're 12 miles out, so descent. I'm going to go ahead and start that descent. And of course, it's going to say drag because it wants 293, it looks like. We're doing, okay, well, it's going to be a little bit. But welcome aboard, both of you. Hope you enjoy what you're watching. We'll be wrapping this up here soon. In Tampa and then down to Brazil. All right, there's a look at the weather. Absolutely beautiful down there. Beautiful neighborhood, Tampa. Hang on, I'm just, my limited radar knowledge. Hopefully, when we get that with X-Plane 12 here soon, I can't wait to learn that those features. They're gonna be interesting to see. All right. I'm gonna go brakes 2. I'm gonna try. I'm just gonna put it in idle reverse, but I'm gonna try this without reverse thrust, like the real plane does not have. It does not have reverse thrust. So I'm gonna give it my best here. Matter of fact, let's go 3 and no reverse and see what happens. I know the goal, land at your speeds, but it's interesting now, because somebody told me, oh, that's gotta have reverse thrust. No, actually the KC135 does not with the R model. Now the other models, some of them did, but the big GE engines that you see on them today, they are strictly without reverse thrust, all auto brakes. What I've been told, the KC46 is the same way. Mind-boggling, but it is. All right, we're headed in Tampa. Oh, wow. Looks like Spain is having some pretty heavy, Valencia, some heavy flooding. Wow. So just looking, I just happened to see something pop on my Discord channel from another one about that. That was a little bit, oh, wow. I was told it never rains in Spain on the plains of Spain. Guess that was wrong, kind of like never rains in Southern California. Although that one's been true quite. All right, we're through 29,000. Let's start doing this. There we go. Got my prediction in, folks. The predictions are open. All right. I don't think I'm going to hit my 10,000 foot mark when I wanted. And now Okay, just kind of getting a feel how we're going to fly this. Okay, I think it'll work. Hang on. You know, it's always fun when you look at these charts, what you learn. Huh. I found another GA. Oh, did I just do that? Dang it. Hang on. There we go. I accidentally closed out the page I was looking at, trying to set this up. All right, now for MacDill. 120.175. Okay. Won't be able to respond on guard anymore. Now, the other thing we could have done was fly off the TACAN out, procedure turn in. And we are at transition. Altimeter 3015. Again, we're going to see disagree. By the way, folks, when I move this, which way is the altimeter needle going to go? We're going to go up to 3015. Not going to give you a long time to answer, but which way does the needle move? Up. And down, obviously, the other way. Now, we talked earlier, altitude disagree. What that means is the first officer's altimeter is not the same as ours. If you use this little set screw, boom. There you go. Altitude disagree gone. And they match. All right, we're coming into Dades, then G-Spar, and then we'll begin our approach, maybe visual, to runway 5. A heavily congested area in normal real-world flying from Sarasota to, well, Punta Gorda and Fort Myers up to Tampa, over to Orlando. This whole area is very busy. Orlando with 2 airports, Tampa with 2 airports, international, and St. Petersburg, plus the Air Force Base, plus all of the GA scattered about through here. It's a very, very busy airspace. Underreported by the news as to why so many delays. Right here. So, but, you know, the news isn't going to, if it's not blood, it's not going to get reported. Which is sad. Okay, we're coming up on the 2-hour mark from brake release on the runway. And we're going to continue on down to 5,000 once we slow up. Looks like 180 for now. Now you can just push the speed and then you'll have control over it. And I'm going to go ahead and do that, slowing us to 240, and we're going to need speed brakes. All right, we are about to make our, where are we speed-wise? Okay, so I got a couple seconds. And there's our extended lines. Now, there's a way to draw these, and I never, ever got a chance to learn how. But you can extend those to see, so you can fly better and come around. Okay, auto brake is set to 3. We're set, ready here. Let's make sure I didn't miss any check items. We'll get the lights on. Okay, we're going to go ahead, come on down to 5. All right, so when we do this, it'll be a heading of 234. Just going to set 230. And now we're descending. I'm hoping possibly for a visual approach. I believe MacDill is on this peninsula right here, folks. If not, it's over here. So, actually, that might be right there. Oh no, I was right. It's out here. So anyway, we'll find it when the time comes. We're gonna get down to about 5,000. Kinda, ooh, ease it on in. We're getting a little fast again. Okay. Welcome into the Tampa area, folks. The beautiful day here. Just some pesky clouds like we briefed to deal with here in the beginning. I'm gonna get a I'm gonna go with 220. There it is, MacDill right there. All right, we're gonna flip-flop channels. All right, we should be, there we go. Don't see it yet. We're going to go ahead, put flaps full. Now all you got to do for the spoilers, folks, is just touch them. That should initiate them when we land. All right, gears down, right? 3 green. We're lining up. I got the runway. Plane's mine. MacDill traffic, reach 18 heavy, approximately 6 miles, runway 5.
Flight slope. 500. Flight slope. Flight slope. Minimums. Flight slope. 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 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Okay, that's a little different, folks. That's a lot different. All right, how I probably would come off here at Charlie. By the way, it's an 11,000-foot runway. It's kind of a weird airbase. You land way out here in the sticks, really, and long taxi. So with that landing, folks, I could have put her on brakes 1 or 2. All right, let's get her into the ramp here. Hope y'all enjoyed the first flight of the day into MacDill. We'll have these supplies here in no time. And we're headed to Alpha Ramp. All right, so we'll get up here to Echo. Very zigzaggy. Here's Echo. And we'll take that over to the ramp. All right, and last we got to get that auto brakes, taxi lights. Okay, we're all set. Flaps up, spoilers up and down. It's amazing MacDill has been able to keep all of this real estate here in Florida. I mean, there used to be a couple other runways, and they're gone. But they got a lot of real estate here, folks. They really do, and kind of glad to see they have it. Hang on, we're going to switch outside. Okay, brakes are set. We'll go ahead and set that generator on. That being the Apu. And we're ready to shut down. Just making sure I don't have anything else. Okay, taxiway run lights, flaps, auto brakes, flight. Yep, we're good. Shut them down. Welcome to MacDill. Hope y'all enjoyed. It was a fun little ride. Kind of wish they'd help with the parking here, but it's military. I mean, the fact, what is that ahead of us? There we go. All right, the fact that they even have it this well done is remarkable. So a lot of bases in these flight sims pretty much get omitted. So hat off to, again, Laminar. So just kind of looking around. Huh. Okay. Real quick here, I am going to unload the charts here. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that program, And looks like Atlanta and Memphis, for those curious, are up and going right now. But overall, we had a great run. We are going to, real quick, redo that landing, since I forgot to shut down VATSIM. Oh well. It'll clear up here in a minute. We can start. See how it looked. Bear with me a second here, folks. I just realized I had a flight still going. Hang on. Okay, real quick, I'll let you know how that went. Okay, they got us at a landing rate of 145. Actually, that's no longer, so we can do that. Actually, it kind of did look like that. So really a good flight there. Boy, it sure looked like I was going to touch down right there. All right, so we'll take a look at it one more way. Let's try the tower. Wow, that looked great, folks. And there she sits. All right, real quick, let's all right, there you have it, folks. We're on the ground here at MacDill. After that, hopefully that didn't mess with any of our programs. Let's see, flights. We can get rid of that. All right, over at Elevatech, they got us at 141 as well. Okay, and our friend at Sim Toolkit, 58 feet a minute. Of course, now you're going to be nice to us. All right, 2.5 hour flight, 800 miles, 830, and 9,000 kilograms of fuel, 1G, 58 feet a minute. Let's see how it looked. Little slow, actually about right on. 1, 2, 3. I remember that because it's easy as ABC. So, but anyway, there you have it, folks. Let me bring in Sim Toolkit. Oh, wrong Sim Toolkit. Where are you? There you are. Hang on a second. There we go. All right, so you can see where we touched down, 1,200 feet. Folks, your landing should be right where these big white marks were on the runway. And they were close. There's your PAPI. Your ILS glide slope is in the vicinity. All aiming to put you in on that spot. We hit it. Granted, 11 feet off. I thought we were a little closer than that, but hey, not going to squibble over squabbling. So 58 feet a minute, 122, should have been 123, but hey, we'll take it. Great landing, great time. All right, so we are ready for the interlude, if you will. What that means, folks, is we're going to switch from MacDill Air Force Base into our second flight out of Brazil. all I will give away right now is we're going to fly for an airline called Azul. And from there, we're going to have some fun. We're going to go to an airport I don't think I've been really to but once in X-plane, maybe twice. Used to fly this airport so many times with cargo companies that I was with VAs. So we're going to, hopefully that may have tipped some of you off to Brazilian cargo airports. However, today there's actually a lot more passenger traffic. So I hope you all enjoyed. I hope y'all think about Sim Air Force, think about, coming over and joining a virtual special op group. Allows you to air refuel, do some air-to-air combat bombing, LEEAH dropping, cargo dropping, what the military does, besides break things, destroy things. That part we're not allowed to do on VATSIM. Well, I guess maybe we could. But anyway, check them out. They'd love to have you folks. I'd love to see you over there. So for now, folks on Twitch, hang on, stand by. We're going to be up and running here in moments in Brazil. Those of you on YouTube, I bid a farewell. And hope you all have a wonderful day after this video. And think about coming over here to Twitch. Join us for the live stream. You get to see it, I know, on YouTube in replay, but it is sometimes a lot more exciting over here on Twitch. And for those interested in the 767, here's how you can obtain it from Flight Factor. Can I give just one aside to this aircraft? Flight Factor is one of those that will tell you we do not update while they are doing betas in X-plane, or however they word that. But basically, if you're on a beta, they're going to tell you roll back to whatever the last release was to be able to fly it properly. Okay, now the A320, A350, I've had some issues with that. This aircraft right here, folks, the 767 300-200 that I haven't had, knock on wood, a lick of problems with any of the betas with it, any of the release candidates. They do a fair job of keeping it up to date with them. I'll say fair because I don't really see a lot. But it just is always there for me. The A320 has got some issues right now. I hope they find out and fix. The A350 still has a lot of love that needs to be put into it next plane 12. So, but this aircraft, folks, is dynamite. This is the 200. Okay, dash 200. You got to get the professional extended upgrade to get this, I believe, which will give you the 300 ER, 300 freighter, 200 ER, 200 SF. Now, what the next level up gives you, I have no idea. I could never figure it out, so that's why I didn't spend the money. Bought this pretty much as soon as I came over to X-plane and have loved it ever since. Are there some issues? Yes. No. They're easy to work through, unlike some of the others. But this plane has been tried and true through all of the different upgrades. So think really long and hard. If you're looking for it, folks, this is the plane for you. Can't speak for the 400, don't have it. I have heard of some issues with that plane, but this one just kind of keeps plugging on through, just like in the real world. So think about it. Gave you the link there in the chat room. Hope you take a look at it. So YouTube, you all have a great day. We'll be out with the other video shortly, but enjoy your day. Twitch, we'll be right back. God bless you all. We'll see you in a few minutes. Twitch will be back on air with you in a moment.